Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are all over the world. Welcome back to my channel. It is still your one and only 24/7 news boss. We are here to bring you another fresh update concerning the IPOB. And if you are joining us for the first time, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like and share this video to stay updated with the latest unfolding events in the Zoo Nation and beyond. So in this video, we will bring you a major developing story concerning Simon Ekpa's court 6 years sentencing. We will be unpacking the details, the backlash from BRGIE, the wider implication for the Southeast, and what this means for the future of Biafran's independence struggle. The storm surrounding the 6 year jail sentence of Finland-based Biafran separatist figure Simon Ekpa has continued to attract heated reaction from the Zoo Nation, Europe, and the global Biafran community. Ekpa, who was convicted on Monday, September 1st, 2025, by the District Court in Finland on charges of terrorism-related offences, aggravated tax fraud, and violation of Finland's Lawyers Act, remains at the center of an international political and legal storm. While Ekpa told the court that he was not a member of the indigenous people of Biafra (IPOB) and described himself instead as a content creator, activist, and political commentator, the Biafran Republic government in exile (BRGIE) has strongly insisted that the Finnish judgment was heavily influenced by pressure from the Zoo government and foreign interests that fear the rise of a sovereign Biafran state. Court documents revealed that during trial proceedings, Simon Ekpa distanced himself from IPOB, insisting that his activities online were expressions of free speech and political commentary rather than active involvement in an outlawed group. He described himself as a political content creator who uses social media platforms to amplify the voice of Biafrans. This denial has created confusion and debate among observers. While the Zoo Nation authorities celebrated the ruling as a victory against separatism, many Biafran activists and sympathizers have criticized Ekpa's courtroom stance as contradictory, pointing out that he has long introduced himself publicly as the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile (BRGIE). Analysts say his attempt to separate himself from IPOB during the trial was a legal defense strategy designed to avoid conviction on terrorism charges, given IPOB's proscription in the Zoo Nation. In a strongly worded statement issued on Friday, September 5th, 2025, the acting Prime Minister of BRGIE, Honorable Ogechukwu Nkere, condemned the ruling, calling it a biased conclusion of judicial authority controlled by pressure from above. According to Nkere, the court verdict against Ekpa was not rooted in facts, but in political calculations aimed to weaken Biafran's independence movement. You convicted Simon Ekpa primarily for his social media activities advocating for Biafran independence, a cause rooted in decades of marginalization since the Zoo Nation's civil catastrophe. Labeling his advocacy as terrorism sets a dangerous precedent globally, criminalizing free speech and legitimate political agitation, BRGIE stated. BRGIE further accused the Zoo Nation of using its diplomatic ties with Finland and the European Union to clamp down on pro-Biafra activists abroad. Surprisingly, BRGIE described the jail sentence as a victory in disguise. The group argued that the imprisonment of their leader has successfully placed the Biafran independence struggle on the global stage, forcing European and American policymakers to acknowledge the legitimacy of Biafra's grievances. Every Biafran should be happy that we have come this far. The imprisonment of our leader has placed Biafran's case before the world. Now that Europe understands our case clearly, We will mount pressure in Washington, D.C. and appeal the judgment. Our Prime Minister will later join us, stronger than before, Nkere declared. The BRGIE's outrage is anchored in a long history of mistrust between the Zoo Nation and the Biafran movement. Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB's detained leader, was extraordinarily renditioned from Kenya in 2021, a move Amnesty International and other human rights groups condemned as illegal. Between 2016 and 2025, rights groups documented over 1,000 killings of pro-Biafran supporters by the Zoo Nation security agencies. IPOB and BRGIE argued that these crackdowns only prove the Zoo Nation's fear of Biafran's rising momentum. Meanwhile, observers note a growing complications in Ekpa's identity. In public rallies and online broadcasts, he has styled himself as the Prime Minister of Biafran Republic Government in Exile, BRGIE. In the courtroom, however, he rebranded himself as a mere political commentator and content creator, denying direct affiliation with IPOB or ESN, Eastern Security Network. This contradiction has fueled debate within Biafran's camp. Some say Ekpa's denial weakens his credibility, while others insist it was simply a tactical legal defense to expose the bias of the Finnish judiciary. Political analysts across the Zoo Nation and Europe remain divided. Supporters of the ruling argue that Ekpa's rhetoric has contributed to insecurity in the southeast, with sit-at-home orders, sporadic attacks, and roadblocks linked to his royalists. Critics insist the court failed to establish direct evidence tying Ekpa to weapons, funding, or operational orders of violence in the Zoo Nation. Some fear the ruling could set a global precedent where separatist voices are criminalized even when their activism is non-violent. BRGIE has vowed to appeal the verdict in a higher European court and simultaneously launch diplomatic lobbying in Washington, D.C. to internationalize the Biafran struggle. For millions of Biafra supporters, Ekpa's imprisonment is no longer just a legal issue. It has become a symbol of the Zoo Nation's determination to silence dissent and Biafra's resolve to resist it. Simon Ekpa's ruling has left the Biafran movement divided, with some questioning Simon Ekpa's courtroom strategy, while others see his imprisonment as a symbol that has taken Biafran's independence case into the world stage. But the big question remains, did Simon Ekpa weaken his cause by denying IPOB in court, or was it a smart defense move? Will BRGIE's vow to appeal his judgment succeed, or will this be the end of Ekpa's political influence? And finally, my people, does this sentence silence Biafra or amplify his voice internationally? Let us know what you think in the comment section. Do you see this as justice served or political persecutions? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our next update on this developing story. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.